Well, you may not realize it, but some pretty tasty olive oils are being produced from our neighbors just to the south of us in Oregon. I got a chance to talk with Paul Durant about why he started an olive oil company here and what to look for in quality olive oils. What are we tasting today?
So we're going to be tasting three varieties that we make here at the farm. First is Arbequina, which is a Spanish varietal oil. And then we'll taste Koroniki, which is indigenous to the island of Crete. And then we'll be tasting Tuscan blend, which is really a blend of different types of Tuscan olives that are field blended and then make kind of this hearty Italian.
This is the first time I've ever tasted olive oil. So is there a way to do it? I mean, I know how to wine taste, but not olive oil taste.
Well, you know, the thing with olive oil tasting, and granted we're tasting out of these little paper cups today, is very similar to wine, where, you know, you kind of sip the oil in and then you kind of aspirate that a little bit and let it kind of flow across your palate. The beautiful thing about olive oil is the flavors are long, similar to wine. So it's very complimentary.
So should I start with this one?
Sure, let's start. Take a deep whiff of that oil. You know, and Arbequina tends to be a little bit more fruity and grassy.
I was going to say, I got the grassy notes right off the top.
So, and this by far, Arbequina is one of our most popular oils we make here at Durant. And it's just very, I described it, very user-friendly. And so you're getting a little bit of that pungency and a little bit of the pepper on the back now. So
the pepper right there, you could really feel it towards the end. That was delicious. This is my favorite so far, but we're not done yet. The Koroniki?
Koroniki, yep.
Koroniki.
And again, these are really neat to taste because they're varietal specific, just like if you're tasting a Cabernet versus a Noir, you know, those sorts of things. The varieties are very unique. Yes.
It's not so much the taste, but the weight of the olive oil that I noticed the difference of. It seems much lighter.
Yep, it tends to be, and that's again, the neat thing about these different varieties is different viscosities and how they kind of play together with food.
It's really nice. What were some of the flavors in that?
This one tends to be a little bit more peppery. So rather than the grassy notes of the Arbequina, this tends to be a much more forward in terms of the pepper notes. So it tends to go really well on fish and those sorts of things that are really complemented by kind of that peppery component.
I love that. All right, our final one is this Tuscan blend, which I'm really excited to try. Ooh, oh, that's so earthy.
And that's why we always end with the Tuscan, because it tends to be a heartier, heavier oil. It's just like you kind of start lighter and build up. Same thing with the Tuscan.
It does. Hold on. I got a bit of a tickle. That is kind of peppery at the end.
Yep. So, and that Tuscan goes it goes really well with heavier foods, you know, say stews and meats and those sorts of things. So it's a really great oil to use in the fall. That
is delicious. Tell us about the festival that's coming up, the Olio Nuovo.
I was schooled by a fellow from Rome who came over for 2 seasons to teach us how to make high quality olive oil here in the Northwest. And he told me, Paul, you have to have an Olio Nuovo bottling. It's a very special oil. So you can see here, this is our Olio Nuovo. This is oil I just made last week. So it's a bright, vibrant green. It's incredibly fresh and incredibly hard to find. It's a rare oil.
What should they look for, I suppose, when it comes to looking for quality in an olive oil?
So the first thing I tell people, because we get asked this all the time, is, you know, high quality olive oil is really all about freshness. You know, how fresh is that oil? It's not going to age like a wine will. So it's really important that the oil be fresh. So if you're in the grocery store aisle and you're searching out oils, I always tell people, look on the back of that bottle and it should tell you when the oil was made and also when it was put in that bottle. So those are two really key components. A date that says, you know, best buy doesn't really mean much because it doesn't tell you really when was that oil crafted.
So what you're telling me, Paul, is a red flag is a best buy date on a bottle of olive oil?
Yep, that's a red flag. Go for the date it was actually crafted.
All right, bon appetit.